Boxing Voice.
Gladiators, they're two guys that make the sport of boxing proud, the way they perform in the ring. So, Fred, introduce the combatants.
My pleasure. Since he's the visitor and from Oxnard, California, my pleasure to introduce first Brandin Bam Bam Rios with some opening comments. Brandin?
How's it going, everybody? Yeah, hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas and a great New Year's, and we're ready for Saturday. Just give the fans a great show.
Thanks. And representing the home team for a change, Mike, it's been about a year and a half since your last fight here, your first one in this series. Welcome, and how's training camp going with you?
Thank you. Training's good. Ready to put on a great show. Ready to start this new year off right and put on a great trilogy for the fans and put on a great show. So just ready and excited for this fight.
Terrific. Alma, why don't we give instructions on how to ask questions, and we'll proceed.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, if there is any questions that you would like to ask, please press the number 1 key. Again, if you have any questions, please press the number 1 key on your phone.
While people are plugging in here, I just want to remind the final press conference will be this Thursday. It's at the Tailgate Roadhouse, which is across the street from the Pepsi Center. We'll be serving lunch at noon and starting the press conference at 12:30. And then on Friday, the official weigh-in will be at the same location with fighters and media reporting at 1 o'clock, and then the fighters stepping on the scale at 2 o'clock. Alma, we're ready.
Yes, sir. Our first question is from Dan Raphael with ESPN. Go ahead, Dan.
Thank you very much. Hey, guys. This is for Mike and also for Brandin. You know each other so well after the two great fights that you've had with each other, and then I wonder when you approached your thought process of preparing for this, do you just say, you know what, I'm not going to try to go and do anything fancy, but it's just going to be I'm going to bite down and I'm going to try to get this guy out of there, and we know it's going to be just a slugfest, and the guy with just a bigger heart is going to just win this fight, or do you want to try to show a wrinkle and change things up a little bit, or is that even possible? Maybe, Mike, you can answer that first, and then Brandin.
I was just going to let the fight go the way it goes, make adjustments accordingly to how we just fight. Our styles clash, so we know each other that well that we know what's going to happen. We know how we're going to make the adjustments. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of adjustments that we're both going to make to compare each other's styles and try to react to each other. So it's going to be, going to be very interesting to see how this fight plays out as it goes.
And Brandin, your thought about that?
I see it the same way. We both are going to make adjustments. We both, like Mike said, we're both similar. We fight the same. We both got hearts. We wear our hearts on our sleeves. So it really depends how the first round goes. That's what I see it. It all depends on the first round. However the first round goes, that's how the fight's going to be. And we're going to be ready, and we're ready for war. We're ready for boxing. We're ready for everything that we're going to make adjustment for. So I know it's going to be a great fight, and the fans, they're going to love this.
The other thing I wanted to ask you guys about, when you had the first fight, I think you guys had you knew who each other were. I don't think you knew each other very well. You might have met each other at a top-rank event or something along the line, but didn't have any particular relationship with one another. And now here you are by the time we're going into this third fight. I mean, you guys have joked around with each other, been personal with each other. I saw the way you guys interacted at the press conference when you announced this third fight in Denver. I get the impression that even though you want to, do your damage in the ring, that you guys kind of like and respect each other. Could each of you characterize what you think of the other guy as far as your relationship goes outside of the ring? Brandin?
Outside the ring? Yeah, man, of course. There's no animosity between me and Mike Alvarado. We actually, we're cool, man. We're the same people, man. We're the same kind of person. We know what it takes, and we know what it is to be where we are at. We both had our problems outside the ring. We both had our problems inside the ring. So we know that. And like I said, at the end of the day, we're both the same person. We're both ghetto. We're both from the hood. We both grew up like that. And we real understand real and real recognize real. And that's what we are. We're two real fighters. But we're cool outside the ring and everything. We're cool, but once we get in that ring, we hate each other. We want to kill each other, and that's what makes this sports and makes this fight more exciting because everybody knows that. Oh, these guys are too cool together. They're fun. They like to kick it. They have fun together. But once they get in the ring, they freaking kill each other. And that's what it is, man. It's like when you go to the army. All your warriors, all your soldiers, they're your brothers. Alvarado, he's like my brother. We're fucking fight. We fight to death. We fight till somebody gets hurt. So that's what it is.
Mike, your take on your?
It's true. Brandin, he said it pretty clear. We have nothing against each other. Once we get in that ring, we know what we got to do. We've already clashed before, and we know what type of fight we're gonna what we're getting into with each other. So, I mean, that's the the warrior that's gonna come out of us in that night because we know what kind of fight that we are. We both have heart. We're both warriors. So. There's no need to add more to it to the fighter. We know what kind of fight. Everybody knows what kind of fight they're going to get out of it.
Would you consider you guys are you guys friends? Do you think?
I'd say we are. Even though we don't really communicate like on a daily basis or anything, but when we see each other, it's like we know each other. Like we're cool. We have that mutual respect for it. We just understand each other.
All right.
I feel the same way too, man. I feel the same way too. It's like you said, we don't talk a lot, but once we see each other, of course we're gonna go and shake each other's hands and joke around and have fun while we see each other. But like I said, I live in California, he lives here in Denver, so it's kind of hard to communicate.
Sure.
But we still got that mutual respect, and we do respect everything we both do inside the ring and outside the ring.
Bob, could you address that for a minute? You promote a lot of fights where guys have wanted to, do the business before, during the press conference, and it's been a lot of rancor and cursing and terrible sportsmanship and all that. Can you sort of characterize this because of all the fights you've covered, how it ranks as far as, cool outside the ring with each other that doesn't really need a lot of hype because of how great the fights are inside the ring?
The best trilogies are the ones where the fighters respect each other so much that they consider themselves friends, and after the trilogy is over, they continue to be friends. I mean, that recently we saw that with Gotti and Ward. Before Gotti's untimely death, they were really close, and I'm sure that Mike and Bam Bam will be close for the rest of their lives because they've been through hell together.
The only one I can think of, Bob, that's the opposite really is I guess, Barrera and Morales. They still can't stand to be in a room with each other.
Well, they were different people. They came from different social strata in Mexico. Barrera was much more Spanish, and Morales had a lot of Indian blood, and they taunted each other with that, and there was you're quite correct, a lot of animosity, and there unfortunately still is. But these guys are like peas in the pod. They're really alike. They're fun-loving guys who, when they get in the ring, are absolutely fearsome.
Got it. Thank you, guys. I look forward to being there Saturday. Appreciate your time. Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Our next question is from Lim Satterfield with RingTV.com. Go ahead, Lim.
How are you? Brandin.
Yeah. Hi.
What's up, buddy?
What up?
Of the two of you, you've kind of had the most, diverse trek. Your last fight, you've been involved with, one of the top fighters in the world, in Manny Pacquiao, and then you were involved in a fight that was, frustrating and controversial. Can you kind of characterize where you've been your last fight and what you've learned from those two experiences?
Well, from the Pacquiao fight, it is what it is. Pacquiao has showed and why he's one of the great in the world, and I'm very pleased to lose to one of the greats in the world. I was so confident in that fight. I thought I was going to win that fight, but it is what it is, and the way I lost, There's nothing to take away from that. And that controversial win, you consider controversial. How is it controversial? Because a guy is outgouging me and keep outgouging me, that's controversial because he was winning. Everybody thought he was winning. He wasn't winning. I still had another round to come back. I was down a point in the card. I wasn't like, I was losing the whole entire fight. No, I was down by a point. I still had a round to go left. I was barely coming back on. That's why he was outgouging me, because he felt the pressure and the power and everything. So he had no other choice to do his dirty tactics, and which he did. And I really read about it, and that he's been over there in Argentina. He's done all kinds of dirty shit. I heard that he bit British press conference in the amateurs. So this guy is a dirty guy. So your controversial win to you and yourself, to everybody I think is controversial. Hey, it is what it is. You guys think what you want to think, and at the end of the day, I don't really care about what everybody says about it. A win's a win. I still got to win.
It was controversial because of what happened in the fight, not because you won. That's not what I meant. It was controversial.
All right. Well, you didn't explain yourself right.
Okay. All right. Are you comfortable, though, now, because, you knew going into the Pacquiao fight there was an element of him, either he's going to box or, something new, but are you comfortable now because pretty much after being all those rounds with this guy what to expect, and that it's going to be an exciting fight no matter what happens?
Yeah, no matter what happens. Everybody just feels that, Brandin can't fight fighters that box. I just got too comfortable with one person, with one style. And I got so comfortable just attacking, putting pressure, and not moving my head, just taking a shot to give a shot. I got too comfortable. Before my early career, I was moving my head. I was moving around. I was boxing. I was trading punches when I have to. I was in and out. I just got too comfortable. So, it is what it is. And, like I said, I learned from the Pacquiao fight. Now I went back, and what happened in Diego Chavez fight, that I learned a lot, too, from that. I reached down, deep down inside me and did a soul search, and I came out with the outcome, and I'm ready for whoever now, man. Unfortunately, it's for Alvarado. Alvarado's going to give a great show, but it is what it is, and now I'm ready.
Thanks a lot, Brandon. Mike, you there?
Yeah.
Mike, there's speculation that of the two of you, because of the fights you've been in with Provodnikov and Marquez, that you may have lost a lot in those two fights. Understand why people might think that, and what can you say to discount what people are kind of believing?
I know that, it didn't tear me apart. It hasn't had any really major wear and tear on me from those wars like that. I learned a lot from them. I started this boxing game pretty late, so it's just been a really huge learning experience as far as like my technique and generalship in the ring and everything that goes along with what happens in that ring. It's just helped me learn more about myself as far as a fighter in there. And all those situations, every moment in that ring, it's been a huge learning experience. So I just took a lot with me. I've learned a lot. And I haven't showed my best. I haven't been at my best. So now that I've grown in these past fights, past years, as a better fighter, as a man, as inside and outside the ring, it's only going to make me a better person and a better fighter in that ring. So, it's on me to make those adjustments and to utilize them in that ring.
Obviously, Mike, you had, an out-of-the-ring situation. You just talked about learning and being a better man. We just saw yesterday Jermaine Taylor, get arrested. Have you put that behind you because your trainers, were disappointed? Can you talk about what you will take from your experience into, the future?
I have. I've learned so much. I've grown so much from all these learning experiences. I've put them behind me. I don't hold on to them. I don't bring them with me into the ring, and it's not a distraction towards anything of me in that ring. And it's just been a huge learning experience, and I've learned a lot to be positive through it. It helped me be stronger and give me more of my confidence to be a better person, be a better fighter from all the experiences. So.
Do you have anything to say about anything that I asked, both about how you think maybe Rios is a better fighter or his experiences from coming into this fight, also including Mike Alvarado's situation?
No,
they're both terrific fighters, and they demonstrated that many, many times. And there's something about this rivalry that makes them even greater when they face each other, and that's what I look forward to.
Hey, Mike, you said you had something to add? It sounded like you were trying to jump in there.
Well, no, I was just saying, that's just going to be on us when it comes that night to, figure out what deep inside we have to make the adjustments we need to make to overcome this kind of fight, this kind of trilogy, this kind of bout against each other. So that's just going on.
Thanks a lot, guys. Good luck in the fight.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Our next question is from Mike Woods with SweetScience.com. Go ahead, Mike.
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking the time to do the call. I appreciate it. This question is for Brandin. Brandin, I think I heard you say something about doing some soul searching. If that was correct, can you talk a little bit about that? Was it thinking about still loving boxing, or not liking boxing, or the politics in boxing, or taking wear and tear? What was the soul searching about?
Just get back to where I was at, man. I got too comfortable at a young age myself, making all this money. I just got too comfortable. And so I got too comfortable on one side. I thought I would never be beaten. I thought I was this and that. So I had to do soul searching and go back to my old roots, go back to what got me here. Not to forget. That's what I meant by soul searching, and just everything.
Got it, man. This question is for Bob. Bob, you've been in this business since 1966, and from the outside looking in, some of us might look at a guy like an Alvarado with maybe legal issues hanging over his head and say, "Oh, that's a distraction." But you've seen this; it's not uncommon over the years. Can you speak to it a little bit? I think necessarily maybe something like that isn't a distraction to boxers because they're built differently. Can you speak to that at all?
Well, there are two different types of offenses. There's one where there's a victim,
right,
where somebody beats up a woman or somebody does a criminal act that impacts another individual. That's one kind of crime, and that has to be addressed in a certain way. There's another kind of crime where somebody isn't doing what they should be, or is doing what they shouldn't be doing, like having a gun when they shouldn't have a gun. Mm-hmm. And that's, in my mind, a victimless crime. And therefore, I'm not going to talk directly to that because that really isn't my business, because all of us, all the time, do things that may be against the law inadvertently, but as long as we're not harming somebody, which to my mind is reprehensible, it's not something that I comment on, and it's not something that really has an impact. When Muhammad Ali refused to go in the army and step forward, he allegedly committed a criminal act, but the Supreme Court years later exonerated him because they felt that he did it because he was a legitimate, conscientious objector and a minister of his faith. So that's not a question you should ask me. particularly in this case. You're trying to get me to say something bad against Mike Alvarado, and I had nothing but admiration for him as a person and as an athlete.
To the contrary, I actually thought that there might be a viewpoint that many people don't think of, and that it actually wouldn't affect him as much as some people would think. So that characterization, I believe, is not correct. But I appreciate your answer regardless. Thank you for your time.
Next question, Alma?
Yes, sir. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please press the number 1 key on your phone. Our next question is from Jeffrey Freeman with KO Digest. Go ahead.
Hi, thank you for putting me on the call. A question for Brandin Rios. Brandin, earlier, did you say, unfortunately, you're fighting Mike Alvarado next? Did I hear you right?
What do you mean? I stopped fighting Mike Alvarado. I said, unfortunately, did I?
That's what I'm wondering. Do you two not want to be fighting each other again? Is the friendship...
If we want to fight each other again, I would never sign the contract. I would have told my manager, hey, I don't want to fight that. We would have had a big thing. Nah, man, come on, man. We're fighters. We're warriors. We'll fight each other any day, any time. Yeah. Nah, man, that's, I don't know. Did I say unfortunate? If I said unfortunate, my bad. I mean, yes, I'm fighting Alvarado, so I'm happy. You know, what else can I say? We got to have this trilogy because it's tied. We cannot leave it as a tie. You know, we want to see who's better than who. So we got to have the trilogy, man. We got to have it. We got to do it.
What do you say to that, Mike? Is the friendship overriding the rivalry at all, in your opinion?
I don't look at it as really, the rivalry. I mean, we're going to get in there and do what we do. This is the sport we chose to compete in, and it's 1-1. So, I mean, there has to be a winner to this, It's a trilogy. I mean, we have to figure out who wins this match, who puts, a loss, who wins that matchup. So, I don't know. I don't have nothing against it. I just going to get in there and do what I do. This is just what I do.
Right on. Brandin, you spoke about Diego Chavez a little earlier in the call, speaking about him as a dirty fighter. I was wondering if you saw his fight recently against Tim Bradley. Was he dirty in that fight, and what did you think about the decision? It was a draw.
I thought Bradley won the fight. I still think I thought Bradley won the fight. It was a close fight, but it is what it is. He was doing some, not like to extreme like he did with me with Algaz and stuff like that, because Bradley wasn't letting him. But you know what? Like I said, he fought two different guys, man. He fought a guy that know that can punch, and he fought a guy that he know that he could stay there and not get hurt. So that's why he fought two different guys, and he fought two different styles. So if you're trying to say that all this stuff about him and what he did with that, but yeah, that fight, it wasn't the best performance that I've seen of Timothy Bradley, and that dude's still the same guy no matter what.
Right on. And one more question for Brandin. Brandin, you've been in the ring with Manny Pacquiao. What do you think about his chances against Floyd Mayweather if that fight comes together?
Right now, I see it as 0% because I've been reading about it. They're in talks, this and that, Mayweather's saying this, and Mayweather's saying that. And so, at the end of the day, I'm not going to get too excited about that fight unless I see the contract signed and they have a press conference and I'm fighting on the undercard. Then that'll be a fucking hella fight.
Good luck, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Dan Rafael with ESPN. Go ahead, Dan.
Thank you very much. I had a follow-up question for Mike. Mike, I heard the comments that Bob was making as it related to, I think it was either Lem or Mike that asked you the question about, or asked the question about distractions because of what was going on in your life outside of the ring. And I'm wondering from you, how big of a distraction has all the legal issues been for you, or is it something that hasn't been a big part of your training camp or caused you any problems?
It hasn't caused me any problems. I've been used to, always something going wrong in camp. When it's going too good, when everything's going perfect, I know something bad has to happen because that's just the way it's been. I've been dealing with adversity my whole life like that, so it's just something that's just been in my life, all the time. So
when that
it's no distraction for this fight.
Okay. When the incident happened, though, did you miss any time in camp whatsoever, even a couple hours, or was it you didn't miss any time?
No, I didn't miss any time, actually. I didn't, because, I went to jail for one day, and I just made up for that day on that Sunday, so.
So you didn't miss anything, even when you were. Okay, got you.
No.
And the other question I want to ask you, I want to ask Brandin also. I mean, I know this is a very big fight for both of you guys. I mean, Mike, you have losses in a row. Brandin, you won your last fight, but it was the Pacquiao fight was before that. I'm wondering, can you even allow yourself to think about where you can go with a victory on Saturday, or what a loss might do, or is that completely out of the question? Because the winner of the fight, there's certainly going to be other business for you. I'm not sure what will happen to the loser, just given the recent turn of events, but. As far as what you've done in terms of, like Mike, with losing, if you lose 3 in a row, it's going to be hard to be back on HBO in a main event, I would think. So do you think about that at all, or do you just completely purge that from your mind?
Yeah, the thought goes through my head. I think about it. I know I need this win. We're going to go in there and we're going to fight our hearts out. That's just what type of fighters we are, type of fighter I am. I just get in there, and I hate losing, so. Regardless, at the end of the day, I love to win. So. And
Brandin, is there a fight that if you can be successful Saturday, that you have your eye on you believe that this could lead you to, or you're not thinking about that?
You know what? Of course, I'm thinking about that because I know that this is we both have a lot on the line right now. This is like pretty much judging our career, and so you know what? I'm ready. I'm so focused. I'm so ready for this fight. That it's unbelievable. And I had a tremendous training camp, and I know what's going to happen. And I know what could happen if we lose and what could happen if we win. So, my mind is set on the prize and look for the glory. And I'm still young in the sport, and I still got a lot to give to it.
Very good. Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah.
Our next question is from Jandra LaBeouf with badculture.net. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. My first question is for Brandin Rios. As you continue to go into war after war in your last few fights, is there ever a time when you question why you have such a training schedule, or is your style as a brawler fit for the type of battles that you've had over the last couple of years?
Well, you know what? Going to war after war is not. It's not that I'm always in war. It's just, that's just the way I fight, man. I don't look for the war. It's not like that. It's just the way I fight. But at the end of the day, like I said, I got too comfortable with one style. I forgot the regimen of the boxing, how to get to the top again. I just got used to one style. So now, I did a lot of soul searching, and I found myself again, and I'm ready to get back, man. I rejuvenated myself. This time I can really say I rejuvenated myself. And I'm ready, man. I'm ready to get back. And, everybody's going to say what they want to say no matter what, man. Everybody has their opinion. Everybody's going to call me, this guy been too many wars. This guy done this and that, this and that. At the end of the day, I don't really care. I know what I can bring, and I know what I can provide.
Aside from the level of comfort from, you've been, have some good earnings over your last couple of fights, what do you think is another element that was missing that was kind of causing a disconnect with you?
Excuse me, I didn't hear you.
Other than, when you make more money, you get more comfortable. Is there anything other than that do you feel was distracting you and caused you to do?
Like I said, just making that money, man. At a young age, a kid like me, I grew up poor. I never had that much money. Never seen that much money before. I was always in the streets. I was always in jail, always in trouble. And that's why me and Mike can relate. And that's why we get along very well, very well. But at the end of the day, like I said, just making that type of money, I just forgot. And I forgot the hunger that took me there. And the drugs that got me there to that point where I made that money. I just forgot about all that. And, I'm ready to get back to the top again, man. I just remember all that stuff now, and I'm ready to go back.
Okay, thanks, Brandin. And then I have a question for Mike. Mike, during your last fight, I'm sorry if you've answered this already. During your last fight, you moved your training camp to California, where I'm based, and now you're back training in Colorado. moving back to home base to train for this fight, do you find yourself more comfortable and more at ease there, or was it better for you when you were in California away from all the other distractions that home life can provide you?
Oh, there's distractions everywhere, regardless. Even if there was stuff going on here at home, it still would distract me out there in L.A. I mean, I would still hear about it, and I still would stress about it. But, I'm comfortable at home. I love training at home. I don't like training away from home. So I'm just completely focused on training where my main support groups are, where my family is, where my kids are. So I just love it at home.
Okay. Well, when you head into the fight against Brandin coming up this weekend, will you have all your children there? Do your children watch all your fights or are ringside for your fights?
Yes, definitely. My oldest daughter will be going to the ring with me, and my other daughters will be there as well. So I have three girls, so they're my number one fans, definitely.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Good luck, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thanks.
Our next question is from Lester Gibbs with ThaBoxingvoice.com. Go ahead, Lester.
Yeah, hi.
Your line is live. Go ahead with your question.
Yes, hi. My question is for Mike. Mike, I want to know with the constant issues back home, why haven't you decided to train away from home this time for this fight?
I don't like training away from my home. I love training. I'm more comfortable. My attitude's better. I feel a lot more confident training in my hometown. I love being around my family. I love being around my kids, and I was just way more comfortable training at home.
Now, you were in the second fight. Obviously, you had the game plan, and you know what you need to do to win versus a Brandin Rios. How do you make sure that you stick to that game plan?
I just stay on my game plan that I have that I've already developed. Making those adjustments a lot quicker this time around. Sticking to my game plan, not giving in like the first fight. The first fight was just a fight to test that type of style against the style, and then the second fight was the adjustments come in, and now that I know that I was able to adapt to a certain type of style. I can make the adjustments I need to make to overcome that type of style. So I'm just going to get in there and stick with my game plan.
Well, thanks, Mike. And my question for Brandin Rios. Rios, obviously there seems to be a little animosity on your side when it comes to hearing the name of Diego Chavez. Is that a fight that you are looking to get a rematch with?
There's no animosity between Diego Chavez. Everybody just talk about that fight from my last fight and everything. It's just, Rios didn't look good. It is what it is. After 8 months layoff, not doing nothing in the gym, not even going to the gym, not nothing, just went to the gym for this fight. So, there's things that I should have done before the fight. I'm talking about staying in shape and being in the gym. But I literally took 8 months off, and I didn't really do nothing because after the Pekka fight, I was really devastated on myself, and I got down. I was really mad and everything. I was depressed, you could say that. And at the end of the day, everybody's just keeping mentioning Chavez. Hey, if he wants to fight again, I have no problem fighting. I don't turn down a fight from nobody. I'm ready to fight anybody. I'm a warrior, and I'll fight, man. I'll fight till I die. I don't care.
And my last question, being as though that you're coming into this fight, you obviously have something to prove to yourself. I wanted to ask you, you said you went through a little bit of depression after the Pacquiao fight, and we remember that Tim Bradley went through some of that himself. Now, obviously, it was for different reasons, but you both suffered depression, and you got reactions from the fans. Can you just speak on how the fans embraced you after that loss?
Well, after that fight, the reason after the Pacquiao fight, too, because, I see how everything got switched around. I wasn't a bit depressed because, I went in that fight. I was confident and everything. But, there's a point where you can get confident and not get cocky confident. And what happened, I got cocky confident. And that's what happened. It was my fault, nobody else to blame, but I put that on myself. And, and then just my big rodeo for the first time, and then I got bucked off. And I didn't come out to expectation that I thought I would be able to do. And then after that, I only fought one time last year, and it sucked. It really did suck and everything. And from testing positive, something I never tested positive before, which I had the wrong guy in my camp, which I came out fucking dirty, and it wasn't really dirty, and it was just a lot of shit going on in that moment, in that fight. So it was just a lot of shit was going on to me.
Well, Brandin, thank you for your time, and I'll see you there.
All right.
And it's Nestor Gibbs, by the way, not Lester.
Okay, I think we're going to wrap it up right now. I know the guys have to get to the gym. They got interviews set up tomorrow, so we'll go around the horn. But before we do, one last time, just a reminder that the final press conference will be this Thursday at noon at the Tailgate Roadhouse. That's located across the street from the Pepsi Center. And then Friday's official weigh-in, the fighters will be reporting at 1 and stepping on the scale at 2 o'clock, again at the Tailgate Roadhouse across the street from the Pepsi Center. Both of these will be streamed live at toprank.tv, and we look forward to you joining us there or seeing it on the live stream. Bob, any last comments on the fight?
Yeah, I can't wait for Saturday. It's going to be a great fight, two great warriors, and people also, prior to that fight, have an opportunity to see Gilberto Ramirez, the undefeated super middleweight from Mexico. He's something special. Big knockout puncher. He's in with a very tough Russian opponent. That should be a terrific fight as well.
Thanks, Bob. And as a reminder, there are a few tickets left. You can get them through Altitude Tickets, any of their outlets, or at the Pepsi Center box office. Brandin, any last remarks before we head out?
Well, everybody just don't sit on it. Don't wait too long. There's still tickets, as Fred said, there's still tickets left, and get your tickets because this is going to be one exciting fight. You want to be here, or if you're not, you're going to be squared. And it's going to be one hell of a fight, and Alvarado's ready, I'm ready, and we're going to get the fans a great show.
Mike, you promised fireworks early in the show. Any last remarks? You want to confirm that?
Yeah, just promising that there's going to be a great epic trilogy. Everybody just make sure they get their ticket and to be there because it's going to be a fight. It's not going to be you both not want to miss, so just be ready for it.
Well, it's all coming to a head this Saturday night live at the First Bank Center in Broomfield, which is just outside Denver, Colorado. And if you can't be there to see it live, you can watch it live on HBO beginning at 9:45 p.m. East Coast and West Coast. Thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you this weekend. Bye.
The Boxing Voice.